Hello, good evening and welcome back to Rangers Radio. John, myself, Foxchair, back in the show as your GB talking about Rangers. Well, Rangers 3, Partick Thistle 2, that one of the most bizarre games, referee games you've ever seen in your life. John, myself, Foxchair on the show, as I said, is GB. GB, wow.
Aye, Oxy, I think you nailed it in the heat there with that word, wow. I think the pre-match we said stuff that never came to fruition, mate. I think the only thing I got right in the pre-match was that Cholak got a goal. But wow,
if you don't get it with the right attitude, if you think you're going to get players fit and treat it as a bounce game, mate, there's a big learning curve for our manager. He's going to come in for a lot of criticism today, for a lot of projections to the support. His team selection, try to get guys fit in a Scottish Cup tie at Ibrox. Get the game won, get people on. Don't have them starting. That's the learning curve. And then also, well, we'll come to the second half, but GB, it was mental. It was absolutely mental.
Ox, I mean, first half, like, for the first 10 minutes, I thought we were actually steady Eddie, like, the passing that was going to boot.
But it wasn't doing anything, mate. It was...
No, I know Cantwell was lively and stuff like that, but it seemed to be, like I says, for me personally, the after 10 minutes, it was just ended up Partick Thistle.
No shape, mate. That's what happens. And listen, I did mention that I wouldn't mind seeing all the attacking players. And the problem we've got is we've got two players that are playing the same position, Cantwell and Tillman, and you can't put the two of them in. We've got a problem. And when you put Cantwell out right, we're trying to solve that problem. And he was lost. Cholak didn't look fit, even though he scored a good goal. James Sands took ages to come into the game. Wasn't great in the first half. The boy Raskin took a while and it was arguably man of the match. Well, apart from Tillman, who done some outrageous things. But people try to get fit in the Rangers team. Kemar Roof, when he came on, I've got to say, he looked about half a stone overweight, if I'm being honest. You know, and it's just some Hadji playing him on the left and a couple of nice touches that Hadji does and then just disappeared. Didn't look fit. Mm-hmm. Too many players, no fit. We insulted our team and it nearly bit us, GP.
Aye, and again, it bit us hard, Docs, with the penalty at 35. I mean, I don't honestly think there's nothing...
Never a penalty, mate. Never a penalty.
We've been getting slated for the goals and stuff and all that, the way his horns were and stuff like that. And Ox, for me, the penalty was the exact same thing. What is Cholak meant to do with his arm? He can't make it disappear. I mean, and yet that referee went ahead, even stood and looked at it for a length of time and all, and gave it. I can't believe how he can get it. But again, it was probably our own fault, Ox, because we wrote it on ourselves. As much as the ref made that decision, it was gone that kind of way that Partick Thistle looked as though they were going to score first.
Aye, McGregor had two saves, even though I thought the free kick was 2-4 and made it easy for the boy. Mm-hmm. The second save was, which people might miss, was just a catalogue of errors. And then the boy had a good effort, and McGregor made a great save. And then for the corner kick, they ended up getting the penalty kick. And for me, it was never a penalty. Yes, it hit his hand, but it was never a penalty. I mean, I'm... You know, you've got to be seeking to gain an advantage either by stopping the ball or playing the ball. And he was literally coming down on his landing foot with his arm sitting and it brushed his hand. It's not a penalty kick.
No,
I don't know what the referee sees when he goes to that camera. He sees it hit his hand and thinks he's got to get a penalty. And by the way, mate, I don't think yours was a penalty kick neither.
No, again, VAR and refereeing decisions was terrible today, Ox, to be fair, for the full 90.
So they get the penalty, mate, 1-0 up, yeah? Mm-hmm. 1-0 up, we get at half time, we make a couple of changes, it did bring us into action. I can't believe it was Kemar Roof come on, an unfit Kemar Roof. He came on, and then, so Kent came on, gave us a bit of urgency. Glenn Kamara, who I thought he was shocking today. I like Glenn, but I thought it was absolutely abysmal today. And then we huffed and puffed and we got the equaliser. A funny cross by Raskin, but a good finish with big Cholak, mate.
Aye. Raskin again didn't give up, Box. Worked the ball, got a lovely cross right across for him, and like I says, that's what Cholak gives you, Ox. Proper striker finish. I mean, he'd done and gets the ball bouncing up into the goal. that's what we're asking for, and he done well to get that height up on it as well, Ox. I wanted more of that for him today. I honestly think the first half, Ox, he didn't get the service. I mean, I think that's how
too many clods, mate. To me, to you, a nice pretty play. That's no attacking play.
No.
Yeah.
And we were hoping that was going to be the opposite, Ox. We were hoping that it was going to give us goals, but actually it hindered us.
Did I tell you before the show there was no width?
No width, no wingers, no. Like he says, sometimes as well that there wasn't the old, like I thought going about the old guard, but sometimes let's say a Lundstrom in there or whatever, a Jack in there, just to kind of give that bit of dig, if you mean. Like you says, two players, Kamara and Raskin, are much the same in there today. For me, that can't work, Ox.
Well, it's only one game. I thought Raskin came on to a real good game for us and showed enough for me.
Aye, Raskin definitely. Aye,
I thought Kamara was abysmal, but I couldn't work out the tactics. When we lost the ball, if one of the players was forward, we had Tillman and Cantwell and Hadji and Cholak stunning. And then if one of Raskin or Kamara get caught there, it's just no shape. And the manager's got to learn a lot for that. And we've been very praiseworthy to Michael Beale. And he deserves a lot. He's sorted for fitness out. But that first half was a shocking display and a shocking shape and a shocking setup. Yeah, so hopefully we'll learn to it big time. So then we get the equaliser, and then there's a big talking point. So Malik Tillman gets fouled, and the boy he was done, and the boy stood in his ankle, and I think it was checked with VAR. There's a talking point on its own, and then they get the ball and they get it back, and they're going to get through to us. The boy totally miscontrols it. I don't blame Tillman. The boy miscontrols it. The boy's in play. How long do you wait? And he gets through and puts it in the back of the net. And by the way, what a goal it was.
Aye. Ox, see the thing about it, right? The ball was meant to go straight back to us, right? The boy takes a touch, then he goes to take another touch as if he's got to pass it across to his keeper and all that carry on, right? That's what's instigated Tillman to go for the ball then, because he's realising, hold on a minute, he's not going to get it back, he's got to mess about with it. So Tillman's well within his rights, for me, and in my opinion, to go for the ball and go and create, and he did. And he actually scored the ball. And by the way, again, refereeing decisions, why is there not a red card for Tillman getting flung to the ground? Mental. Absolutely crazy.
The referee was shocking. Bridget was having we need to get him some medication. We'll need to get him one of Foxy's cigarettes for the morning night show, so he's nice and calm.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
and then the manager does something.
What's that, mate?
Then our manager does something that I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, there'll be some people might congratulate him, there'll be some people going nuts with me. What he's done is it's a big call. You can come into sportsman, like, remember, we don't forget. Remember all the teams, how they've treated us. However, there'll be other people doffing his cap and saying, what a brave decision. Yeah, ultimately we'd only won the match. But that'll be the big talking point, mate. What's your views on it?
My views on it, like, to be honest, like I says, the way the boy messed about with the ball and Tillman scored the goal, I think they deserved for us to go in front, Ox, right? Sportsmanship, I think Beale was left in no man's land with it because McCall's his pal, and I think he's had to do it. See, if that was anybody else, I don't think Beale does it. But see, because, like I say, the interviews and all that's been going on, saying about how McCall written him a lovely letter and all that for management, that's what's flung it, I think. But what I would say is, it would be interesting to know if McCall would have done the same back if the shoe was in the other fit.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but that's what it would be, Dave. But ultimately, we're going to win the match, so it never didn't count, but it'll be the big talking point, and it'll be interesting to see what people think. But let's not let that hide for how bad our selection and our shape was today against a team who are just average, if I'm being honest. Well, But
fifth in the championship.
Aye, what it does show me is there's no reason why we can't have an 18th league team in Scotland. No reason at all.
No, 'cause I mean, there were some players in that Partick Thistle squad that did actually have a bit of talent about them, you mean, and they did push forward. Although I would say there was some hammer throwers in amongst that and all.
Of course. We're going to get them to the level. Right, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get these phone lines open, yes?
Yeah, mate, it would be good to hear about this decision.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, the two people who shone for me today were Raskin and Tillman, two young boys. I thought Tav was poor, I thought Sands was poor. Davis didn't do a lot, didn't have what he had today done all right. Borner was okay at times. I thought Kamara was atrocious. Cholak didn't look fit. Cantwell flattered to the Steve, same with Hadji, the two of them disappeared. And I don't know, mate. And Hadji, he looks fit as a butcher's dog, mate. But there's a difference between that, as Bridge is always saying, in match fitness. And for me, the manager, poor. And I'll tell you why I'm poor. Won the game, 5 substitutes, you get a chance to get people off. Got it so wrong, mate. Big learning curve for him. I could see what he's trying to do, but you've got Cholak and Hadji coming back for fitness, and then you've got Raskin and Cantwell who are new into the group. Yeah, so you're actually playing with all your forward players. All your forward players don't know each other, and it takes time to know about runs and get understandings, and I think it was too much. So, for me, personally, a big learning curve for Michael Beale. Thoughts, mate?
The understandings, Ox, I think that was apparent today. You could see that we were getting so far into the box and there was just nothing coming off. There was just people not ready for the move. You could tell it was a team that hadn't played together, really. The manager, like you say, has got a lot to learn. That first half was terrible. I was quite glad that he did make the substitutions, as much as I was surprised that it was Ruth that was coming on. I thought he would have probably put Ken and Wright on to get a bit of speed back into the team. But again, the second half, I mean, you're right, Ox. We don't need dodgy decisions to win a game. I mean, and again, if it went to the final whistle and it was Tillman's goal to decide it, I'd be pretty disappointed as a Rangers fan, to be honest. We should be able to take care of this team, and like I say, I think going forward, it probably shows the fans as well that we shouldn't write off a lot of the old guard as well. We're going to need a good balance in that squad.
Listen, I've enjoyed Campbell so far. I enjoyed some of his runs today. I liked some of Hadji's moves. Tillman grew into the game. It just looks exquisite. He's got the way he runs with the ball and what he's doing. All right, there's controversy about his goal, but he's still done it. I don't know if I'll get anybody else that would do that, beat and run the goal like that. So he's an entertainer. And
two 20-year-olds, Ox. 2 20-year-olds today ran the show for us today. 2 20-year-olds, and you touched on our captain as well, Ox. I mean, Tavernier. Mate, like it didn't even. I don't know what's up with him now. I mean, folk have been saying weeks for confidence, and he's not been playing well, and I kind of brushed it aside. But see, today he just didn't look up for it. He didn't. I mean, he had that volley, right, but he had time to take that ball down and stuff like that, but he just lashed it and you're like, Tav, what are you doing? It's
decision making, mate.
Aye. Well off it.
I mean, he didn't start the game well, and he killed the space. There's nobody there, and all of a sudden that right hand side of the midfield or forward line has became a problem for us again. So if that's what we're going to play, Cantwell, I don't know if that's what we brought him into play. I thought he was brought into play for Tillman was playing, but I could understand some of the shape of the as I said, for me, the manager got it so wrong and disrespected the opposition and nearly came unstuck, Jamie.
Aye, Alex, the Cantwell one as well, it was like we did play him in a different. I don't know if you've seen the same, but I felt as though we did play him in a different position today, and it just didn't suit him. Whereas the way we have been playing him, running about Kent, fashion and all that, he has slotted into the team more in that midfield position for us. And I think he is going to be better in there because he does a lot of moving about. I think that even that first half, I was writing down in my notes, like Cantwell's doing 100 jobs in that team. He was running about, he was being a defender and all this. He shouldn't have to do that. We need his talent up the park. I mean, but I've seen at times he was back near enough next to Borna and stuff like that, and that's all good and all that. But at the end of the day, he's an attacker. I mean, we don't need him. Like, that's somebody else's job to be doing that, and he just seemed to be running about doing everybody else's job today. And again, like he says, Hadji and stuff like that. It just sentiment counts for a lot, Ox, but there was no need for Hadji to get a start today. Again, probably should have brought him on maybe the second half when the game's on its way to be done. You know what I mean? It's a strange one. He's obviously seen him in training, Ox, and you've got to wonder if he's producing in training, then he must have been showing something.
You never listen. This is a myth, mate. You don't pick a football team for training, mate.
No.
You know, you look at people you want to see they get the right attitude, and if you play well and you get it right, you'll be playing. It's a factor, but you don't pick it. Look, you try to get minutes into them, and I get it, I understand it. Yeah, but with the blend and the amount of people that are on there who haven't played, it left us exposed, in my opinion. And remember, we're playing Partick Thistle. You know, so you're right, let's say they're fifth in the championship, but there's nothing between them and all the other teams we play week in and week out. They're organised, they're competitive, they're physical, and they've got some players with pace in them, the exact same as we play against every week.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no difference between playing them and St Johnstone, mate. And we struggled because we got the shape wrong. And if we're going to continue and we have a continuous shape like that, and we're so stubborn, Michael Beale ran into the same problem as Mark Robert ran into, mate, because we're not winning, we're not scoring enough goals. Aye.
It's when you're playing against, like, say, a Partick Thistle, if he's looking at it like Cholak, stuff like that, we need to make sure that a guy like that's getting the service. And see, when he did get the service, like the Raskin goal, it was made out of quality, Ox, and that's what was lacking badly today. I mean, especially the ones that were touting off. Apart from, like you say, Raskin and Tillman, played brilliant and stuff like that. But
just like you hear this, mate, like you hear this. It's, Michael Beale said Malik didn't realise, but the ball at playing goes to press the ball as we tell him to. I made a lot of mistakes today, but letting them score wasn't one of them. I wanted to uphold the standards of this football club. That was the Michael Beale statement for the when he was getting interviewed after the game. Everybody over their own mind on it and their own thoughts on it. But come and join us, 0141 356 1972. I'm between two today for man of the match, Malik Tillman and the boy Raskin. Hope I got that right pronunciation. GB, your thoughts?
Aye, the Tillman probably for me, Ox, just like he nearly scored at the end. Remember that the run he had just near the end? It was brilliant. I think he'd done about 4 of the players, and he just had that last shot, and it was just saved. It would have been an amazing goal if he had put that one away. So again, people had been saying about Tillman no tracking back properly, but yet the day again proving that he was in about it, winning the ball. Took some hefty challenges, Ox. We talked about that one on his ankle. Again, VAR never bothered looking at that for some reason. The boys flying now, and what I said to you, it's very surprising that 2 20-year-olds were the shining light in our team today. I was expecting a lot more heroes today.
I mean, you're expecting Cholak and Cantwell and Hadji up front, but we were playing that narrow with no width. You expecting Tavic. When Borna does go outside Chaji and he puts the cross in, there's only Cholak in there, so we're back to where we started, mate. It's all quad football. I said it earlier on, mate. To me, to you, and it's nice and it's all right. And if you're winning 2-0, 3-0, you can run the legs after teams. But we're not scoring enough goals, GB, and that's where our problems are coming from.
Do you know, I think there's not enough selfishness in the team, Ox, in the sense of what I'm meaning with that is, like you're talking about the tippy-tappy stuff, you always feel as though the players are like, they get to a point where they could take on the ball and go and shoot, but they always stop and go, I'll pass to him, I'll pass to him. I think there needs to be a bit of, no, I'm the main man and I'm going to take the ball and I'm going to score, instead of being all palsy-walsy. I mean, I think there needs to be a bit of ruthlessness in the team a wee bit, especially on that attacking line. Especially today, it was just, like I say, that first half, there was many a time we were up in their box, but we just ended up passing it somebody, and then the ball would ricochet and loose, and then again they would break away and they would have their wee moment and all that, but should be far better than that. We said pre-match, Oxford, the amount of talent we had on that part of the day, I thought we would have controlled that easily, and very disappointing. And you've touched on the manager's statement there. I know he wants to uphold standards and stuff like that, but again, the boy was messing about with the ball. Tillman's an eye for goal, you mean, and he's seen an opportunity. And I don't blame Tillman for any of it, to be honest. The thing, like I says, the boy ended up being a victim of it, because he ended up being chucked to the ground and about 4 or 5 of their players on top of him shouting ball at him. I mean, it's shocking.
Tillman done nothing wrong, mate. Nothing wrong.
Nothing, no.
No.
And like you say, Sox, he scored a good goal with it, you mean? And and like I says, and then the whole thing where we end up disallowing him to run up the park and score. It's.
Don't think McGregor was too happy for it, was he?
No, I seen he was trying to put the boy off a bit and see what was happening, but it's I don't know. Like I say, this is what happens. You can't have pals in football. See the whole managing thing and all that. We'll write letters to each other, we'll have a glass of wine after. No, it's all about Rangers. I mean, it's about us winning, and sometimes we need a bit of nastiness in the team, Ox. We can't be all nice guys, because nice guys don't win.
Well, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what happens, you know. If a similar thing happens, and the shoe was on the other foot against other opposition, what would happen? It'll obviously be the major talking point, mate, but I think the trouble is, mate, that's camouflaging, you know.
Aye, it would have, Fox. I mean, if you walked away the whole 2-1 the day, then it would have had a lot of it. Just, I think, back to the drawing board, Ox. I think that's the word we can say. I mean,
what you can say is, I think that's 14 games now, 13 wins and 1 draw, you know, and these stats don't lie. But if we're being honest, it was poor fare, and you know, you've got to get a blend right. And I recognise what he was trying there, but he got it wrong. And when guys aren't match fit, they don't help you. And even at the start, I wondered where the boy Raskin was match fit, but he definitely grew into the game. And him and Tillman for 20 minutes were very good, you know. Anyway, talking about guys who are never good. I mean, very good. We've been joined by Port. They're all right, Port.
There he is.
All right, boys. How we doing?
Right, go on then. Get it off your chest.
Just the biggest incident that annoyed me the Ox year was obviously the foul on Tillman, where his ankle stood on. He goes through, puts the ball in the net. I'm just going to ask you a question. Would any other club in Scotland allowed us to walk through and, you know, give them that free goal? I think not, mate. I think at times, and I've seen it before, we're too nice. We're too nice, guys. And I know about sportsmanship, and you probably call me on that, but I think the way Malik Tillman was fouled, stood on, he's rolling about the flare, he's no idea what's going on about him, and then we go and allow them to you know, run through and score. Too nice Ox here.
Aye, there'll be a lot of people thinking similar, you know, and I don't think Tillman done a lot wrong. So the manager makes the decision, and it'll be a big talking point. But Port, I think if we talk about that, we're not talking about a big issue for our teammate. The shape, the selection, and the play, if we're being honest.
Aye, obviously they expected a lot better for that Ox year. I think still we spoke about this on the show about the team being top heavy when it comes to, you know, guys like Hadji, Tillman, Cantwell, you know, Sakala, Kent, and you've discussed it many a time. It's getting the blend right in the position. I think the Tillman and Hadji, it was more like two narrow tens for me, Oxygen, which was stifling. That area of the park, and I mentioned it.
Where was Cantwell playing, mate?
That's what I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand what his role was today. I couldn't understand if he was to link between midfield and front, or was he given a sort of same sort of role as Kenway, like a free role and go and influence the game that way. But I just felt there were no service again for Cholak, mate, either, which I think again, if he's not getting service, we look very poor and average at times. But I listened to you just before I come on, mate. But we're not ruthless. And Gary touched on it as well. We are not ruthless enough, selfish enough to go on and put the ball in the net. Everything's all, nice tippy-tappy football, all on the edge of the box. But at times we have to be more, thoughtful and driving forward. And there was one player done that for me, the Ox year, and it was the guy that I gave man of match to, and it was the boy Raskin. I thought his head was up. He was positive, no sideways, backwards passing, and obviously he's re-chipped to the back post for Cholak. It shows you boys got it all, mate, and
He's still got a left foot, Port.
No, he's not got a left foot. That's a fact, Ox, yeah. But for a 20-year-old boy, I think we've got a player in our hands, mate.
What I did like, he played a chip ball to Borna, second half. The weight was everything, and he got it spot on. And he covered some ground today, and he'll be better for that. And I enjoyed him. We'll come back to you, Port. We've been joined with Damarnock, evening Damarnock.
Good evening, lads.
How are we doing,
right?
mate?
Aye, all right. Just back in for the game.
What was your thoughts, mate?
Big talking point. I think they were wasting time the whole game, and again they were wasting time giving us the ball back. What Thomas just jumped to it and scored. Probably the ranked thing today, you know what I mean? But they were messing about. That ball should have been shied right away and rooted up the field. Even up the field, they were all markness. It wasn't as if they were all just hanging about the main half and going to give us the ball back, in all fairness. And Thomas took the ball and scored. And
I don't think Tillman done anything wrong, Damarnock.
I don't think they've done anything wrong, but it's so-called sportsmanship in it. But and then giving them, I knew right away it was Bill's decision. See, as soon as they ran up with the ball, I went, that's Michael Beale that's done that. I knew right away, you know what I mean? As what it is, it's done and dusted, done it. They kicked us out of the park, they kicked him out of the park. They won, he's took the ball off him. And you go to the deserve then, nothing. I'm free made a hole, you know what I mean? But get up them.
I think the trouble is we'll talk about that decision. Damarnock, and I said earlier on to GB, and I'll come back to Port with this. It's camouflaging how poor we were. Let's not be fooled. We got a lot wrong today.
The manager got it all.
Aye, with the players. What we tried today, there was a lot wrong.
The manager got it wrong the whole game, basically. Even bringing on an unfit Roof was a wrong call. Just too many players that didn't know each other. Too many players coming back. Get a game win. Get a game win. And even then, they've only got. I don't know what happened to goals in those days that happened to him. But they've only got one more game against them. We're playing them. You play the team you want to be starting in that cup final, and you get them against each other. Especially if Cantwell's going to come in and Nico. Unbelievable. Just trying too much too soon. But hopefully we'll learn to it.
Port Bear.
What's the first and foremost, Ox? You want to retain that trophy. That's yours, sitting in your cabinet, and we want to win it again. I think that's another big decision that Michael Beale should have had in his mind right away. Don't take anything away for these teams. These teams, the Scottish Cup means a lot more to teams than we actually thought. And I thought as a cup tie up year, it was very, very good to watch. I thought, you know, I heard you mention it earlier on, the Partick Thistle to me, and for the, you know, maybe the bottom six down, they're sitting in a false position for me. And I was even impressed with their support, mate. I never, you know what? I mean, that was a great support they brought to Ibrox as well, and fair play to them. But I think Michael Beales should have played his probably his strongest start in Liverpool year. I have to agree with you on this. And GB, get this game put to bed, and then he could have, you know, brought on these, you know, the new players and let them try and gel and you know, get involved. I think the guys that stood out, as I say to you, like Raskin and Tillman and stuff, I think only because Raskin's a quality player, mate. I think that's how he'll fit in any team, in my opinion. He looks like that sort of guy that, you know, he looked like he played there for 6 months. But the rest of it, shape-wise, etc., it was baffling, mate. It was baffling, and I think the players themselves found it quite difficult to understand, you know, what the instruction was, who was to play where, you know, and I think that made us look, you know, poor at times last year, and allowed Partick to have that wee spare where they get the penalty, etc. Do I think it was a penalty? Never among the Sundays is that a penalty. I think that's one of the big talking points on me. I don't know.
Yours was a penalty neither, if I'm honest.
No. I think that was just the referee trying to even things up, mate. He made a mistake and he was trying to even it up. That's all I seen that as. I'll be really honest about that. But I don't know. I know in the ruling, if it strikes your arm, it's a pen. But I think it needs tweaked, mate, because where's Cholak supposed to put his arm, mate? He's on one leg, you know, and he's always your arm to keep your balance. I just don't know where he's to put his arm, especially when he's back to the guy as well. You know what I mean? Never a penalty. I think the guys in the VAR room have got to be stronger, mate, and look at that themselves and say that's not. But they passed the buck, mate, and the ref went and he bottled it as well and went over and gave the pen, you know, which I thought was shocking. And like we touched on with Tillman's, mate, I wasn't a penalty either. I just think he was trying to even up the score.
GB.
Well said, Port. The referee did even it up in the end. I mean, especially the penalty. The Tillman was fouled probably just outside the box, and I think it was an easy decision for the ref to kind of even things up. As much as I was glad that the penalty came. Overall, Michael Beales, we're all kind of happy in the sense that we had all the attackers on initially, but it just shows you that there's. I agree with the Mark. It's probably not the time to be kind of messing about with the squad too much. I think he needs to get a settled team, stick with it now, because there is big important games coming up. We've got that cup final. We've got another couple of important league games against that mob across the city that could change, could swing things, and we can't be, what I say, is trying to build partnerships with people that are not there week in, week out. The Hadji one, I was, like I say, very surprised about that he came on to start the day. I kind of backed the manager in the decision initially, but it just shows you that sentimentality can't be there. He's got to make sure he does Hadji a service in the sense that he puts him on at the right time. He can't fling him into a game like that and we struggle, you mean? It looks bad on Hadji and it looks bad on the manager at the same time.
Commander, obviously that'll be the big talking point, but as I said, I think that'll camouflage also how bad the referee was. Have you ever seen such a close performance?
See in the stadium, obviously it doesn't show you the bar, and it nearly showed you after the penalty and it chopped. So nobody in the stadium seen the decision. But you know right away that they were taking far too long to get it, and you're going, they're trying to get here. They're looking and look so they can get it. Whereas if it's an easy one that they make away that decisions made. But the referee was awful. I don't know who it was. They were kicked out of the park. You know what I mean? That's all right. You know what I mean? But I've just lost a bit of respect for the players today. The fans were all right. Usual Effie, Queen and F the Pope. You know what I mean? After them, but but the players were awful. You know what I mean? Just put us out of the park. But aye, the manager got it wrong big time. Hadji, Kamara, just what you said at the start of the show, Kamara, awful. He used to be subbed at half time as well.
Oh, I thought Kamara was dreadful. I'm a fan of Glenn Kamara. I know Porter's and all. I just thought he was so far after today. You know, you compare that performance to the performance at Tynecastle. It's just, why does that happen? You know, why does that happen? I don't know.
It's just the safe pass for the time, man. There's nothing inventive. It was just.
Listen, he could have put his kit right in it. He hardly broke sweat in that first half. He was jogging. You know, Port. I know you're a fan as well, but it was shocking.
I have to agree with you. You know, my thoughts on Glenn Kamara, I think he's an absolute baller. Maybe it was not. But you know, sometimes, like we've been touching on here, was there too many changes next year? Was there too many new guys in the middle of the park, especially? Like Glenn Kamara just didn't have that same understanding with. You know, he's usually playing with Jack, he's usually playing with Lundstrom, so he's used to there's an understanding built there. Maybe he just wasn't, and I'm not making excuses for him.
I get
you know,
that.
Maybe that was just as simple as that, mate. He just didn't have the same understanding with Baskin, etc. Can't we?
I get that with how you should pass the ball and looking for guys' runs and all that, but it doesn't excuse your lack of movement or your lack of desire, does it? That should be a minimum.
No, it does not. It does not. Bare minimums is what we always ask for. You know, blood, sweat, and tears, mate. And I tell you, can I Ox here? See the next person I hear saying Malik Tillman's lazy. They ought to take a good look at themselves, by the way. See, there was a spell in games where he does look like he's doing little, but seeing the last
he is
number of
lazy.
weeks, mate, I think
He has a lie down.
I think that boy's backtracking and that's greatly improved, mate. I think he's developing under Beale. You know, he's becoming stronger, a bit more physical. He is, mate. He is. You can't have it all, can you?
And he's going to do stuff and he's going to make things happen. So I like him, and he's getting better. Anyway, we're going to hear from the manager. That should be interesting. If you don't mind, get yourself on mute and let's hear from our manager, Michael Beale.
Michael, a remarkable cup tie. What's your take on the afternoon?
Delighted to be through. You're right. There was a lot of drama in the game, a lot of things that happened. Firstly, we didn't play well, so we're fortunate to go through. I thought Partick Thistle were good in the game, and obviously there's a lot of memorable moments from it for different reasons.
Penalty given against you, VAR check. I presume you're not happy about that.
Listen, it's the ruling. It's the officials are only going by that. I think that's a harsh penalty. But listen, it's the ruling, and maybe we need to look at that. But I don't want to go back and forth about VAR because I just, at the moment, it's too much in the air, and I'd rather concentrate on the football that happens on the pitch.
You had work to do at half time. You made 2 changes, and it did spark your side into life.
Yeah, it did. Listen, you give opportunities, and maybe I disrupted the team a little bit too much today. I believe in the strength of the squad. Opportunities are there to be taken, and the team's the vehicle. So I didn't think we were very good first half. So there was nothing against Todd and Yanis coming off. But obviously, Kamar and Ryan Kent give us a bit more of a threat in behind, and that's what we needed second half. And straight away at the start of the second half, we were much quicker in our play and much more dangerous.
It's not often you see James Tavernier have a penalty saved. That happened in the game. And then, of course, Malik Tillman scores your second goal, but you immediately took action. Yeah,
listen, there was a massive misunderstanding in the whole thing. So Malik gets injured. He's the boy that's injured, and the ball goes out of play. He doesn't see that it's been kicked out for a throw-on. So naturally, when he stands up, he thinks he's got to go and press the throw-on. That's the instruction that he's usually given. He hasn't seen the ball's been kicked out and the Partick are going to kick it back to us. So, listen, we scored off it. It's controversial, but this football club's built on high standards and, you know, we want the best for the game. And I didn't think that was right and just that we'd win a game of football like that. Not at home, not against Partick Thistle, not against anybody in the cup. I think I made a lot of mistakes today in terms of maybe team selection. But that wasn't one of the mistakes I made there. It was the right thing to do just for football in general and certainly to uphold the standards of this football club. If you watch it back, it was a big misunderstanding where Malik Scott fouled. He doesn't see what's happened. He actually sort of looks around and puts his arm up in the air and then goes and presses the ball. So he's unawares. And I don't want that hanging around his head, which would be unfair to him. And I don't want to win a game in that way.
And it was credit to both sets of players, because that didn't linger afterwards. Partick Thistle took the decision that you made in the sporting context which you gave, and then the contest just continued as was.
Yeah, of course. And listen, I think the players understood it was a bit of a misunderstanding as well, and I think they spoke about it on the pitch. I had to confer with my bench to make sure what I saw was correct, and I think it was the right thing to do. It's never easy, that, in football, but it's a better place for us making that decision today, and I feel that it would have been unjust for us to win a game in that way.
Have you been involved in anything like that before in your career?
No, never. And, you know, sometimes not everybody's going to agree with you, but I think when everybody sees back the full situation with the way that Malik goes down and he's unawares, that's what caused it. And, you know, it's unfortunate it's happened, or rather it didn't, but I felt we dealt with it in the right way.
And you got through, which was the main thing, probably.
Thank you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, I think I'll take umbrage with another thing that Michael Beale said. The only thing that caused it, Dunbarrett, was the centre half's bad touch.
It's good to hear the explanation of what actually happened. He's been fouled. He's on the deck. He's not seen it being kicked out, and he's just thought it was there shy, and he's went for it. So I think everybody was 100% right. I think Tillman was 100% right doing what he did. They were on the right, getting it back fast enough. You know what I mean? I've not seen it again, and if that guy took a bad touch,
I thought he was a man of Port Pierce.
And I think Beale's done the right decision as well. You know what I mean? So, we're a class club, class support. I mean, others wouldn't do that, and we welcome a chase. So, we keep the standards high, don't we?
I take umbrage with what he said there, but also respect to Port Bear for saying he got a lot wrong the day with his team selection. And I don't know whether he thought that Kmart Roof was going to bring you anything going behind. He looks miles off it, mate.
I have to agree, mate. In regards to, again, mate, very, very honest, isn't he? I mean, he was hypercritical himself in regards to his pro team selection and maybe some of the substitutes that he made today, which we always praise him for his honesty. But, you know, these managers always live and die by their decisions, mate, and he's got to think what's best for Rangers. And when I seen that when Partick started the ball, it looked to me like the Partick Thistle player made a short pass and they were just going to play it for their Oxshire, and Malik Tillman's nicked it. That was my understanding. That's how I can understand why all the fuss was made. When in the end game, when I looked at it, the Partick Thistle defender made a short pass to his mate. Malik Tillman's nicked it. He's rounded the keeper and stuck at the pocket. And I just thought, right, that's it. But when I seen the replay, and even now I'm still a bit bitter at Oxshire, and like I touched on earlier on, and I understand the whole sportsmanship thing, but if the roles were reversed and Partick had a chance to go through, mate, would they have done the same? Or would any club in Scotland done the same? And I'll tell you, mate, they wouldn't have. They wouldn't have. We have to be ruthless and have this wee bit of nasty streak in ourselves and think about number one, and that's Rangers, mate.
I think you're right. I think if you watch it again, it was a throw-in and just centre half, mate, had a shocking touch. By the way, it was one thing, but what a goal it was, what a bit of entertainment it was, you know, GB, wasn't it? When he would run the goalie and they were and they would run them to put it in the net.
He done them twice at Ox with the movement and that. But again, I'm in the same camp as Port. It was Tillman, the guy, like any other time I've seen the ball getting played back to a team, the ball gets dropped to the guy's feet and he launches it back to the opposition, and then that's the end of it. The guy takes a touch, then he goes to take another touch, but his body is starting to face as if he's got to pass it to his keeper and all that. And Tillman's took a bit of, I don't know, he's instigated that the guy's got to do that, and he's took the touch and won it off him and went out to the park and scored. I don't get where Beale's coming from, that he's like, it shouldn't have been that way. We didn't let Tillman know and all that. Partick should have just launched the ball back to Rangers right away.
The centre-half's touch, don't have it, wasn't it?
I've not seen it again since.
All right, maybe we see it. It was a classic centre-half's touch. So let's just leave it at that. Yeah.
As I say, Tillman's no known that it was they were going to kick back up. Of course, he's going to pounce on a mistake. And see if he'd known, he'd have stepped back and the guy would have just maybe took another touch, then booted it up. But Tillman's thinking he's going to pass that to somewhere else. He's not giving us that back. So Tillman's done the right thing. Because any other time in the match, that's what you do. You pounce on a mistake and you win the ball back and you can get the ball in the net. That's it. But as I say, any other time, Tillman wouldn't be charging him down. He'd know that he'd get a few yards to launch it back up the field to ease it back. So, as I say, I'm quite. Don't get me wrong, see if you think weak. I'd have probably been raging, going, no, I should never let them walk out the park and score. But that's fair, no. I mean, I think it was the right thing, especially with knowing now that Tillman didn't know that we were getting the ball back at some point. It might have been 10 minutes later, but the way they were messing about at the back.
Aye. I don't, as I said to him, I don't think Tillman done anything wrong, mate. Nothing.
No, he done what anybody should be doing as an attacker. Pounce on a mistake and put the ball in the net. Again,
it was about 40 yards for the goal. It wasn't as if it was a goal kick. They done it, you know.
Right. If he knew that we were getting the ball back, then he was in the ring. But he didn't know, so he wasn't in the ring. He done whatever footballer should be doing. Win the ball, score a goal. You know what I mean? That's what we do. Did any other team in Scotland do it? I don't know, but that makes us different to them. You know what I mean?
Aye, mate. But let's not let that camouflage for how much we got right today, yeah? And how far some of the players are for being fit. And you come, Port.
I know, I totally agree with you, mate. We're playing against a team that's sitting fifth in the championship. Again, obviously you've touched this before in regards to teams. Every team seems to play Rangers. It's their cup final, isn't it? You know, and I've heard you mention they cheat their fans. They're sitting in a false position in their leagues, etc. They've been a bit of a yo-yo club, get up and down the divisions. But they're certainly better, mate, than some of the teams that we play against in the main Premier League. I must admit, at least they had a go last year. They lost the game 3-2. Ian McCall and Partick Thistle had a goal, and I heard Gary touch on it earlier on. They had some players. That boy was playing just after big striker Graham. He was giving Blondler a torrid time in the first half. So they had players there that were causing us real problems.
But that's an old team, mate. If I had a big centre forward and I was wanting to do the channel, I'd be putting it in inside left, inside right, and tap your two forwards. Because neither of them can do it.
That's a fact. That's a fact, mate. And that's something that's going to need to be sorted, because that's probably, I've spoken about Davies. I've praised him on this show several times. Very rarely gets beat either side of him. But I thought even he struggled today with the big centre forward Graham. I think alongside Sands, I know he's alongside a new partner. That partnership with Goldson and Davies was broken up. But maybe, that's what the manager's touching on. Maybe that was some of the wee facts, mate, and the wee things he got wrong. Maybe should have stuck with his tried and tested back four that's been working, has been solid. And, it's definitely helping the team.
Well, we don't know. We don't know if Connor's...
Maybe we got away with one of the Elks here.
Maybe if Connor had a wee knock or something and they made it for that reason. I mean, he's fit, but it makes sense. Anyway, we'll be joined by Robert. Evening, Robert.
Evening, Doctor. Evening, guys. I hope you are going to strap yourselves in here, because I'm not a happy bear.
Right. Keep it calm now. Keep it calm.
No. I will keep it calm. I won't say what I really think. There you go. That says it all. No, I won't say what I really think, because I was really just through it. See that today, and I'm going to touch on right away with Beale with that decision. See that decision? Oh, it's okay for players to stamp on Malik Tillman. It's okay for Partick Thistle players to put their elbows in our faces. But yet, what does he do? Sheepish Michael Beale that were sheepish for, and that's what they are, sheepish. Oh, let them go up the park, score a goal. But Port Bear, you're 100% right, pal. Too nice, and that's why we've won 2 trophies out of about 20. That's why, and that's why it'll continue that way. We're too nice, and I'm sorry. See that today? £30,000 players in the 95th minute, Morelos and Kent holding the boat a corner flag to see out the game against a pub team. Are you having a laugh with me? Is that acceptable? That's a disgrace today, an absolute disgrace, and they ought to hold their heads in shame. Disgrace today, and Michael Beale, you having a laugh with that team selection? 40,000 fans turned up there to be entertained, and that's what they watched. And no wonder I didn't go today, because I watched enough Dross against Ross County, and that's the way it's been apart from Hearts all season. Dross.
Just for the record, what was the score the last time we played Partick Thistle in the Cup at Ibrox?
Was that the time Maurice Johnson scored and beat us? I'm not really sure.
No, it was 2007-2008 season. They were 2 each, and we had to get a replay. We won 2-0. Yeah, an extra game that maybe had cost us a league. Like Boyd get the equaliser. Yeah, and that was a great goal.
Listen, you can't hang me with this one about Walter Smith's team. Come on, Walter Smith's team was a totally different team. The guys on the parket would fight for the shirt. No, see that the day. That is Dross, Oxford.
You remember that game?
No, I don't actually remember that game, because I'm so angry tonight. I can't remember any other game apart from the day, Oxford. I'm so angry, and I'm telling you right now, you'll need to stop hiding yourself under your blanket and think that's acceptable. And you really look forward to this cup final in 2 weeks today, Oxford? Can you answer me that question?
Always.
Oh, yeah. Right, and I'm looking forward to it because I've got a wee bit of hope. But see, if I'm being honest, if I take my blue printed spectre, playing that way and playing the way we've been playing, we've no chance. You've got to be honest about it. They're Dross. That's a terrible Rangers performance against a pub team, and we didn't even create one chance in the first half. Not one. Had you said that it went about 10 yards by. Are you telling me that's acceptable, that performance today? All these fans going on here and watching that performance? Oxford, I'm asking you, and you tell me that performance is acceptable?
Listen back to the start of the show and you'll get my thoughts. GB?
Robert, man, I hear your passion, mate, and it isn't acceptable, buddy. The manager's already openly admitted that he's done a lot of things wrong. He's disrupted the team too much today. He says he gave opportunities to certain players. I don't think certain players will be getting the same opportunities. Maybe he touched on Sands, maybe he touched on Hadji. I don't really know. We need to know Michael Beale's mind with that one. But no, it wasn't acceptable the day. But at the end of the day, we've dragged ourselves through to another round. And again, hopefully our manager, he is just new in the door. Hopefully our manager will see that he needs to kind of get a settled team in the next up-and-coming games, mate.
Well, the manager got a lot wrong today, Robert. A lot wrong.
Sure, of course.
Dominic?
Aye, big time. I can see where Robert's coming from. Aye, that was embarrassing at the end. 2 minutes to go, we're playing it in that corner. See the guy in front of me, that's embarrassing. He's kind of shook his head as if to say no. It's awful against Partick Thistle. But there we go. But we're through. I mean, that's positive, Robert. As much as it's angry and seems our standards are dropped, the manager balls it up big time, massively. He balls it up. But we're through to the next round and get a week to next week do Livingston at it, and we just need to get it right next week.
Anyway, we've been joined by Big Al.
Pressure on them.
How we doing, Big Al?
Oh, controversy, yeah.
I think the trouble is that controversy is going to mask how poor we were, Big Al. That's the issue.
All right, aye. Look, we were very poor, but I think that sent a signal out. But by him making such a decision, to allow them to walk up. I think you've seen the frustration in McGregor because he wasn't want that boy to
Oh,
score.
he didn't want it happen, did he?
Nah. I thought he should have hoffed him. That's what I would have done, because that shows teams, and it shows that the manager is not ruthless. I'm not caring if he's pals with you. I would not have let somebody walk up there. That's like giving somebody a free hit of you. Nah, I think that sends a really, really bad message. Sportsmanship, aye. It's all right for us to be sporting, eh? But when it comes to other people being sporting with us, nah, I think it sends a really, really bad message. I'm really disappointed in the man.
The argument will be, I'll take this to GB, they never let us run up the park and score when they got a penalty. It shouldn't have been. At least we missed it, but once we've done the sporting thing, we missed their dodgy penalty.
No, I didn't see McCall going across to. I didn't see McCall going across to Bale and having the conversation saying, "Nah, look, let's make this evened up," because Cholak wasn't meaning to do that. McCall was taking that penalty all day long. I didn't see him, his bench and players are not shouting ball, and that's what I'm saying. As much as McCall might be pals with Beale and all the rest of it, if that team was in that position to go through to the cup, McCall would have took that, because that's them getting an opportunity to make more money and all that. It's double standards.
Everybody, but nobody likes Beale. That's another thing that's kind of pissing me off in regards to Beale's players. There's things he just doesn't need to say. He doesn't need to tell his pals with everybody in Scottish football, like, he sent me a letter. So what, he sent me a letter? Who gives get players on the park that are going to win a league title, going to win cups, and be ruthless? I think it just shows weakness. It just shows a lot of weakness. Bitterly disappointed.
I'll split the support, mate. There'll be people think when you see it, but you see it again. I don't know if you watched it back. I've been watching it. The centre-half's touch, it causes a whole thing in it.
But so what? The ball's in play. Is the ball not in play at that point?
Yes.
The ball is in play. Right. Well, put the ball in the back of the pokey. That's what he done. And I'll tell you one thing: Malik Tillman took it really well. He rounded the keeper really well there. Well, twice I think, didn't he? He's round the keeper and then a player, and then Cameron puts it in the back of the net. They never learn assault him.
Aye.
Throw him at the ground. Aye. Where was the sportsmanship there? Aye. Where was the sportsmanship? That's all crap. We need to be ruthless. We need to show a level of anger and a level of contempt for the other teams. We are the people, isn't that what we say?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm worried about, mate. That one decision's going to mask up how much we got wrong today and how unfit some of the players were.
Right. Look, I need to go, but thank you very much for taking my late call.
Catch you later, bye now.
Alright, take care, bye.
Cheers, mate. Domano, when you come.
I'm just going to say to you, sport and integrity. They've got it in abundance.
Class.
I think it was that Tillman done the right thing, trying to score the goal, because he didn't know. And now that I know that he just thought that the game was on as normal, and he's done nothing wrong. And I'm quite happy with what Beale done with it. I don't think it shows weakness. I think it shows fair play. Would other people do it? No, I don't think they would. But you know what scum managers want today and scum clubs, that's up to them. But we're above that, you know what I mean? And to put us out, I'd have been raging, but I'd have still went, well, that's fair enough. We scored a goal, we shouldn't have scored a goal. It was a great goal, but they've got we give them it back. I mean, so I think it was the right thing to do. And knowing everything round about the goal. So I'm alright with it.
I'll tell you another thing, there's only Tillman and our teammate could have done that, mate. If I'm being honest. Port Bear.
It's magic, you know.
That's a fact, mate. Magic Malik, mate. He's an absolute, you know. He's another fantastic young talent, mate. 20 years of age, and his touch. You know, I've heard people, you know, talk about his pace, etc. But he covers the ground for me a fair rate of knots, mate. And like you said, he is one of them players that's got that pass, that vision, and that sort of ability to round the keeper. And he almost done it again just near the end of the game, mate. I thought he would have deserved actually. He made a good save. Tillman's phenomenal, mate. He's an absolute, a phenomenal young talent, which I think, I know there's some figures being bandied about. It'll already been in the deal. I think it's a definite that we'll make money off him next year. I think he should be one of the first signings in the summer, if it's possible. And I just think, like you said, though, I don't want to tell all about Partick today, because I thought Partick came and done, they fought and scrapped and done everything that Ian McCall asked them to do, but we brought a lot of that on ourselves, I think, with, the team selection. There's times to bring on guys like Hadji and Roof and that who are just coming back from injuries, etc. But go and get the...
Has he not learned from Tannadice with Cholak, mate? You don't start fit, unplayed fit players. You've got a chance now with 9 on the bench to get them on at the right time. Anyway, we'll be enjoying the Blue Star. Last caller of the night, Blue Star.
Aye, Ox. Disappointed. Once again, we'll get the superlatives. We got it through. That's all that matters. No, that's not all that matters. We've had one performance under this manager. I'm the one that keeps saying Beale's the real deal. I still believe he is. But as he said straight after the Hearts performance, when the guy asked him straight, you'll be playing these guys again, and his exact words were, I'll repeat it because it's never been touched since. His exact words were, no, because I don't trust them. I can't trust them. Once again, that's what happened today. He can't trust too many of the players. Yes, you're correct. Kolak's looked unfit. Hadji was all over the place. But the one you can't forgive, and I will say it, Kamara, utterly downright dreadful. He's supposed to be an established guy in our team. You must be joking me. Once again, the ball goes sideways for him or backwards. He's there to push the ball forward. A wee young boy at 20-year-old showed him up. Showed him for what he is. He at least tried to put the ball forward. No, guys, can he dress this up? It's absolutely... Listen, we've got one more game before a cup final. What does your manager do here? Because I'm telling you, he's tearing his hair out. Does he really know who he can trust? Because on that, you can't.
Well, I think he got it wrong, mate, with the lack of width and also on the number 10s. I mean, let's be honest. Cantwell, Tillman, and Hadji, they're on number 10s. That would be their favourite position, if I've been honest. Or playing behind the striker pot. That's where they would play. And then we've got the three of them along the front line along with Cholak. So you get two of them no fit. One's learning his trade and playing well for his Tillman. Cantwell's done well, but he's still new to the club. And basically thinks, this is a doddle, and then throw in, and Blue Star's right, Kamara's performance was dreadful. It wasn't alone, by the way. I don't think it was Tavernier and Barisic and some others were far behind him, but the manager's got a lot wrong today.
Oh, definitely.
You've picked the 3 number 10 jocks, like you say. Basically what they've done is they occupy each other's space, because they're all wanting to play in that sort of central role. And basically there was no instruction. Sorry, mate.
Then does Tav kill Cantwell's space in the first half?
Yeah.
Because it's easy to... It's no width.
No, there was no width.
Anyway, lads, we'll be back tomorrow night, and I'm sure we'll be debating the same subjects and we'll all have the same passion. Robert, here's a call tomorrow night and we can get through it. We'll get more time, mate, yeah?
Yeah, Oxford, definitely. And I know I'm a wee bit, I'm hurt here tonight, but I'm disappointed, Oxford, because I wanted to see a performance, and I understand he's got to get legs into players like Tillman, like Raskin. So I will call you tomorrow night, because I want to talk about Glenn Kamara. I'll not talk about it now, but I want to bring him up specifically, and I will call you tomorrow night. Thanks, Oxford, for taking my call. Good night, guys.
Cheers, lads. Cheers, Blue Star. We're all going to go and get something to eat, mate. Take it easy. Domarnock.
Can I get a shout out?
Aye, go on, you, Domarnock.
Just a shout out to the two Thistle supporting Yorkshiremen. Close but no cigar. Maybe next time. Get up these.
All right. I think we did learn today that Scotland could have an 18-team league, maybe even 20. Port Bear.
I agree with you. As I said, Partick Thistle pushed Rangers to the very brink. Showed a lot more, heart, desire, willing to win at Ibrox, mate, than I've seen many a team do. Didn't come and sit in Ox here. So I think you're 100% right, my man. There's a shout for a bigger league. Because there's a lot of teams a lot worse in the league right now than Partick Thistle on what I've watched today.
GB.
Learnings to be had, Ox, for the day. Hopefully our manager can take it on because he's got two important games coming up, and we need to get it right, Ox. We need to get this right.
Yeah, it's all about winning, but we'll see what it takes us. It's going to be an adventure, and I think he's given himself more questions and answers with that today. Listen, GB, Port, thanks a lot. Domarnock, Blue Star, Robert, Big Alfie Australia, and of course Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. A shout out to a mate of mine in Western Australia, Gary Brownlee. Shout out, Gary. Well done, mate. Take it away, Old School Blue.